Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Once again, it is time for a shoulder day. So we started off with the standing press and kind of messing with this week. I almost feel like, I feel like going back to the seated press, honestly, because I do so much other standing work. I'm deadlifting, squatting, doing all my standing rows, did shrugs today. Honestly, I just couldn't get in my groove right on these today. I just couldn't get in the groove. The rest of the workout was phenomenal, by the way, but I went up 20 pounds and I'm like, look, I'm hitting 12s with 135. So let me go up to 155, fives. And then again, kind of the same situation I always run into, the not being able to quite get the lockout. Now that being said, I've started doing loo raises off camera. And I'm hoping that's going to correct some of that with my shoulder, which was interesting with the loo raises because I couldn't do them at first. I'm like, I literally can't do them. But then I swung with the little 5 pound plates. Like I started swinging with them, and it's kind of funny because then it sounded like clapping. It was so loud as this stuff kind of crackled in my shoulders. And so it happens the first couple reps, and then I'm able to do them. So I'm hoping over time that corrects. So went ahead and did just 2 sets of the overhead press because I just didn't feel right. But I did a ton of delt work today. Counting all the other stuff I did afterwards, we did 5 more exercises for 16 total sets of those, not counting that overhead press. So again, volume's going up. So what I'm going to do here as I continue to work on getting leaner, yes, I know I look a little squishier this week, and it's because I've been drinking ridiculous amounts of water, hoping it'll swoosh me down now that the carbs are lower. Plus, I wanted to get super hydrated because I feel like that'll help with the loose skin, help with metabolic rate. But it's put me up in the scale a little bit, and it's like my body is still not adjusted. It started slowly coming down. So my body's going to need a little time to adapt to that really crazy water load. But I have a feeling it'll work out really well in the long run. So I'm doing gallon jugs to keep up with it. But the upright rows, I went up and weighed a little on these because I messed with the easy bar, but I'm kind of hitting my elbows. I'm like, let me just go back to doing the barbell here in the rack. So I'm doing this closer grip now because these feel really good, right? They feel really good. Plus, again, just making sure we're working all of the delt area completely because, again, I get different grips with the different stuff. So I feel like for these, I really like that. I really like that closer grip. It just feels better to me. We can make the case for the wide grip, but I'm doing all that rear delt work. We're doing laterals, all this other stuff. So with all of this, what I'm really doing, that kind of puts me 2 exercises that focus on the side, 2 on the front, 2 on the rear. Now, before people say, why are you training front? You do incline, because it still needs to be developed more. But that being said, if you think about the bias in the training, it is more biased towards the total rear. Right? Because realistically, all this other stuff I'm doing kind of hits the side and the rear the most, other than those 2. So essentially, I've got 4 exercises that are dominant on the other, and that's 12 total sets. Now, keeping in mind, we still work the side delts and stuff with the front delt exercises. Plus, keep in mind, I'm going to have pull-ups and rows and all that stuff on my other day. So what I'm trying to do is, again, all my upper body muscles, I'm going to work all the angles. I'm going to take the volumes up and up and up. And I think with some of this, I need less overlap if I'm going to really do even this power building, but body part type split. I almost feel like the forearm work, I don't need it. I need just more posterior chain day. I can do some axle bar pulls on the posterior chain day because I feel like all that forearm work isn't really doing me much good. I don't ever notice my forearms broken, but I have good, strong forearms anyways. The only thing that seems to be an issue is the extensors, but the axle bar hammers those. Plus, if I'm going to keep taking all these volumes up, all my forearms are just getting worked a ridiculous amount anyways, because I do everything without straps. So just an FYI, same thing today. I'm like, if I'm going to do this much shoulder work, I don't have room for triceps. We just need more extensions on the chest and tricep day. All right? And that's going to be the direction I go more and more. So for this, I did the 3 sets of upright rows, and I did 3 sets of laterals. So I did 10 on the upright rows, 12s on the laterals. That's pretty much failure for me. Shrugs, I'm like, let's do some shrugs. We kind of get into the case of, I tell people most people probably don't need shrugs, and I'm doing all this other upper trap work, but the thing that I want to think about is, well, the extra grip training, if I want to just not bother trying to isolate forearms, I feel almost like it's a waste of time for me. We'll just get extra grip training on all this other stuff. Plus, really, the real deal, could I use more upper trap? I mean, my delts are filling out more. I mean, look at them here. I'm going to continue to fill them out more. But if we continue to build that, is more trap going to be a good thing? I think it will be, for aesthetic balance, right? Plus, we need to maximally develop everything. We need to be looking at, honestly, if we're going to discuss aesthetics for the upper body, building everything as much as possible and then getting really lean. Okay? Getting really lean. But I mean, shoulders are a high priority, but the only time I tell guys shrugs are a problem is because their delts are too small. All right? But in my case, look how much delt work I'm doing. We're doing 18 sets for delts, and that's not counting any of the incline benching or rowing or any of that. Doing pretty hard sets here, and we're working all the angles. I think it'll be fine. It'll balance out really well. So if I just bring up the whole shoulder girdle, obviously arms still need to come up too, but I'm making them a big priority. But really bringing up that shoulder girdle is probably the best thing I could do overall for aesthetics as I get leaner. Granted, arms are something I'm super worried about because just for me, historically, you know, I've not trained them enough and I've always got flack for that, even though they've come up quite a bit. But realistically, if I just get bigger, rounder shoulders all the way across, as I get leaner, that's going to be a game changer too. So again, shoulders. So, and then we also have to think about the fact of, why do I need this many different exercises? Number one, the shoulders are the most complex muscle in the upper body. Okay, the delts are. Number two, they're the biggest muscle in the upper body, hands down. This has been documented. People can argue about it, but look closely at the more modern research. They really are. So really, I need to just be maximally developing them, and that means working every head. So yeah, I'm going to have 6 different delt exercises, and that's okay. I wouldn't tell you to do that with pecs or anything like that, right? But doesn't this carry over? Like, look at all these shoulder exercises. Look at what all they train. I mean, they're delt exercises, but they work multiple other muscles. Like, even look at these front raises. It works chest. So after we did that, we did 3 sets of front raises. Managed to get 12 reps roughly with a 45. Then I went to my rear delt flies. All right, big fan of these. And like I said, I like doing them on the incline bench, and I like turning the pinky up because it really seems to isolate my posterior delt. I feel it cramp up there a little bit, all right? I feel it cramp up a little bit. So again, continue to hammer the shoulders and the biceps and all that. It's really going to be a big deal as we tighten up and lean out further. And honestly, you look at some of this, I've had a lot of people note the loose skin is definitely getting tighter and tighter. So I think as I just keep getting leaner, stay super hydrated, focus on antioxidants, focus on hydration, continue to get leaner, is going to tighten up. And I think when I finally get used to and swoosh off this water from the extra, me adding an extra gallon plus every day, because I'm drinking 2 gallons a day right now. When that kind of whooshes down, I think we're going to see it snug up again, another step. So 3 sets of the rear delts, and then because on the overhead pressing, I dropped out a set. I'm like, I want to get 18 sets today. Just decided that was the number I needed. I ended up doing 4 sets of the band pull aparts. Okay, but that's the thing with band work. It's like I'm going to end a lot of these sessions with band work, especially for the muscles that need it. You know, biceps, triceps, rear delts, stuff that could really benefit from that extra pump volume, right? So that's what we did. We did 4 sets of the band pull aparts. And again, I love these for overall shoulder health, right? They're not only a great rear delt exercise, they're just great for shoulder health. And I need to continue to get that shoulder health improved. I need to get all that. I need that mobility. I need all those things. So again, this helps me get there, right? It does multiple things, just like the reverse hypers or prehab and everything. This is the same thing, right? Those reverse hypers have pretty much saved my lower back, allowed me to hit elite lifts still in my late 40s on the deadlift, pain-free. So I feel like with a lot of this too, doing all this band work for these these other areas, this prehab type work, will still help me. It'll help keep me together for the long game, right? It'll help keep me together for the long game. In addition to the fact that it actually adds hypertrophy. But overall, other than just the overhead pressing not being good, super happy with the rest of the workout. Got a great shoulder pump. Everything felt good. I still feel really good. I'm gonna get ready shortly after this, to go get my cardio done and then to knock out my breakfast. So I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.